Hi everyone, this is day one of a 10-day mini cut. If you have been following me previously, if you are a Joey fucking D Turbo fan, then you'll know that I've been bulking hard recently, making all kinds of gains, man. However, it's time to reset the proverbial typewriter and buy myself a little bit more time on this bulk by executing a short, sharp, efficient, effective fat loss phase, otherwise known as a mini cut. So I'm going to spend 10 days in a deficit. I'm going to weigh myself every day, vlog all that, go through a few workouts with you. I'm going to start this by giving you my weight from this morning, which looks like 181 3/4, but it's actually 180 3/4 because I was a complete fucking helmet and weighed myself with the camera in my hand, so I had to then weigh the camera and subtract that. Anyway, it's 180 3/4. Follow that up with a physique update, which was this morning out in the motherfucking cold. So please bear in mind that I've got like an anti-pump at this moment. It's like the opposite of a pump. So yeah, that's the state of affairs currently. This is a smoothie that I had this morning, which was fucking great. These are the macros for the smoothie. This is the recipe for the smoothie, and I'm going to start with a push workout. Yes sir! Now I'm going to finish this clip by doing that shit that YouTubers do. Yes! Alright people, let's get into this. So first exercise of this push workout is flat dumbbell press. Always putting my horizontal presses at the start of a push workout just because I want to prioritize my chest over my delts. At the moment I feel like it's a weaker area and just needs a bit more focus, and so my priorities will always be reflected in the order of exercises. Sticking with dumbbells at the moment and probably for the foreseeable future, just because, as I've mentioned before, I have a weaker right side, and sometimes when I barbell press I feel like I depend too much on my stronger side, and that's obviously, it's just exacerbating the problem. So 5 sets of 8 to begin with. Alright, next up, and we are on incline cable flies on a bench. Now I don't see too many people doing these. I think they're generally underrated, but I do prefer them over any kind of dumbbell fly just because I feel like the angle of resistance means that there's tension on the muscle for a greater portion of the rep. If you do these and then go into some dumbbell flies, you'll notice that maybe like the top half of your dumbbell fly, there isn't really that much tension on the rep, and so if you haven't tried these, I would urge you to try them. Next up, my vertical press, and we're on dumbbells again just for the same reason as I did my first exercise with dumbbells. My right side is just a touch weaker. I don't want to exacerbate that. I also like the way that with dumbbells you can bring them down in line with your head, so I feel like it's more emphasis on the medial delt rather than the anterior delt, because obviously with OHPs you have to bring them down and press them initially in front of you. Next up, just lateral raises. So to be honest, I do as many sets as I can be bothered doing for these. I'm not worried that doing extra volume is going to impact my final exercise too much, because that's just going to be a tricep isolation. So I'll often go to maybe 6 sets of these, or sometimes I'll even just do 3 of these and then 3 sets of lateral raises on the machine, because I'm a fan of that also. Finally, tricep isolation. And if you've watched a few of my videos before, you'll know my preference for these has been dumbbell skull crushers for a while. Again, I like each arm to work independently if possible, so I'm not overcompensating with the stronger side. Also, these are pretty difficult to get wrong. If you concentrate on keeping your shoulder joint quite fixed, your tendency to cheat, you know, is lower than with other exercises. Sometimes if you're doing cable extensions, you can tend to bring like your lats into it a little bit, and I just feel like these help to isolate a lot more than most other exercises, which is, you know, the name of the game, isn't it, when you're doing isolation exercises. So that is the last exercise, and that is it for day 1. We will pick up on day 2. Over and out for now. Yo people, there's not enough light on the situation, so I'm gonna get... Can you turn your engine off for a second? Keep your lights on. Okay, so it's day 2 of the mini cut, and I was 179 3/4 pounds this morning. rest day in terms of lifting, but even on rest days, if I've got time, I will come and do a little bit of cardio, bit of stepper, bit of treadmill, and then a little bit of stretching. So that's it. Still on 3,000 calories a day. Oh, actually, I haven't told you that yet. I'm going to talk about my macros tomorrow. Bye. Yo people, let's do this. So calories for this mini cut are 3,007. That's broken down into macros of 180 grams of protein, 67 grams of fat, and 421 grams of carbs. I'm going to allow myself a 5 to 10 gram leeway either side of those numbers, because I'm able to cut on such high calories that I'm never getting anywhere near my minimum requirements for protein and fat. So 3,007 might seem like quite high calories to cut on. However, we need to keep in mind that my TDE is as high as it's ever been. I'm almost at the heaviest weight I've ever been, and on top of that I'm probably more active than I have ever been in the past. So if I'm doing push-pull legs twice a week, I'm doing heavy compounds 6 days a week, and on top of that I'm doing a couple of little cardio sessions just because I want to, and I've also been going for quite a lot of walks and stuff. I've been out and about a lot recently, so my NEAT, basically the calories that I burn through activity that isn't strictly exercise, that is higher than ever also, and so I'm able to cut fairly fast on 3,000-ish calories. The initial part of your cut is always going to be the most effective. You're always going to see the quickest fat loss with the lowest negative effects. So your cutting feels, you know, your kind of lethargy, your decline in strength. If you're in the first few weeks of a cut, you really shouldn't experience that whatsoever unless you've completely fucked up on calories. And so the idea with throwing mini cuts in throughout your bulk is that you can dive into a little bit of fat loss without having to, you know, even consider all that shit bit of cutting. And so you just get the most effective bit, which just helps you kind of reset a little bit, lose a little bit of fat, and it just buys you more time in the bulk. And that's what you really need to do, because the importance of being able to bulk for a prolonged period is I think generally undervalued, and it's something that I've come to realise a lot recently, definitely through this bulk, but maybe I'll talk about that another time. Anyway, that's macros for now. Today is day 3. I was 179 pounds this morning, and I'm going to take you through a pull workout with a little bit of commentary now, so let's do it. Okay, first exercise for this pull workout is my vertical pull. Again, just reflecting my priorities with my order of exercises. So I want to really work on my lats at the moment, and so I'm doing my vertical pull first. Prefer weighted pull-ups if you can do them, far superior to any kind of lat pull down. So 5 sets of 8 with these, and I can usually get that out with 20k, and then I'll do a set to failure with just body weight. Up next, deadlifts, and I've been going quite light on these, up to sets of 12, and just keeping the weight pretty light, because I find that doing a push-pull leg split, I've been squatting quite heavy recently and doing low reps on my squat. So if I try and do low rep heavy deadlifts, quote unquote heavy, and low rep heavy squats the day after, my lower back will just seize up. It's not really doable. And so I've been doing lighter deadlifts, higher reps, and then coinciding that with lower reps and heavier squats the following day. And then when I reach the next phase of the program, I will swap that around. So third up is my horizontal row, and in all honesty, I don't have any actual prescribed exercise for this. My traps and mid back are fairly well developed compared to other areas, so I'm happy to just give myself some freedom and enjoy my workout here by choosing whichever I feel like doing on the day. So that can vary quite a lot. I tend to go with T-bar rows or this machine that you can see me using here, just because I feel like it's just a good satisfying motion. Again, I'll just do 4 sets of these, and currently I'm on 10 reps. Alright, fourth up is my rear delt exercise, currently on reverse pec deck, but to be honest, haven't really found much difference in terms of what I prefer for rear delts. I do find machines tend to reduce the amount of momentum I use, so sometimes with dumbbells you can be tempted to cheat a little bit, but that being said, cheating to some extent isn't always a bad thing. So just 4 sets of these, and then finally I will finish on a bicep isolation exercise every other pull workout. This time I didn't, just because it didn't happen to coincide with this workout that I filmed, but I'm not sure if you can really see, but my biceps are quite well developed compared to the rest of my physique, and so I'll literally just do 3 or 4 sets of any random bicep isolation every other pull workout, and that will literally be it for biceps. So that's it, just me looking at myself for a bit, and you see me absolutely nailing back double biceps in a bit, and that is it for the pull workout. Day 4, 179 pounds and 1/4. So weight up.
3/4.
No, 1/4. That was from the other day.
Oh,
you fucked it. So weight is up 1/4 pound, but you know, your weight loss is never going to be exactly linear. You know, there are so many factors that are going to influence your day-to-day weight that all you can really do is look at it over the course of a longer period and try and make up, you know, a better picture of the overall trend. In the short term, like this, when you're talking like day-to-day fluctuations, all you can really do is trust your judgment of the calories that you put yourself on. So obviously the more experienced you are in tracking macros and adjusting your calories based on your weight fluctuations, the better grasp you'll have on that. And obviously I've been doing that for a while, so I'm quite confident in pretty much just putting myself on these calories and saying I'm going to cut fairly fast on those. They're going to be adequate but not too low, you know, and to an extent disregarding day-to-day fluctuations. Anyway, this is legs, and it is going to be the final commentary of this video. So then we'll have done 1 round of push-pull legs, and so let's get into it. Alright, third and final commentary of this workout, so let's get into it. First up in this leg workout is squats, but before I do that, I'll do a fairly lengthy warm-up, usually some stepper or a pretty brisk walk on a treadmill, followed by some dynamic stretches, which is pretty much just me flinging my legs around like a madman. After that, I'll do some really light sets. I'll just sit in the squat position with no weight on me just for a minute and just get comfortable, make sure my feet are in the right position, and just really sink into a deep squat. I'll start putting a bit of weight on the bar, maybe going up 20k a side at a time. Just do plenty of warm-up sets really, but I don't want to go so heavy that it's going to start affecting my working sets. My first working set, I'll do a set of 6. These days on about 60k a side, and I'll do 2 of those. After that, I'll go a little bit heavier, just for a triple, so I'll just do 1 set of 3 then. And then I'll start working my way back down. I'll do another 2 sets of 6 on 60k a side at the moment, and then after that I'll knock it down and do a set of 10 to 12. So it's kind of like a bit of an abstract pyramid. After squats, calves are up next. Now my upper leg development is just far superior to my lower leg development, so I'm putting a lot of emphasis on calves these days. I'm doing 5 sets of a straight-legged standing calf raise. Smith machine, currently my standing calf raise of choice. I'm following that with some seated calf raises, so I'm just doing a variation of standing and seated, 5 sets of each, trying to get my gastrocnemius and soleus, or soleus, I don't know how to say it really, but yeah, after that it's basically a free-for-all. So like I said, my upper leg development isn't really a priority for me at the moment, so I've just got optional isolations after that. So that could be any mixture of curls, extensions, adductor or abductor machine, Sometimes I'll do none, sometimes I'll do all of them. With my hamstrings and my quads, again, as before, I prefer to do my curls and extensions single leg these days, just because I do notice a fair few imbalances, even if it's not noticeable in terms of appearance. It's not noticeable for me in terms of strength, and that can just set your form just a little bit off center with your big lifts, your squats and your deadlifts and stuff. Obviously I don't want that to happen, so I'm going with a lot of single leg extensions and single leg curls, stuff like that. That is it for legs. Day 5, I was 179 pounds. Day 6, which is today, I was 179 again, which means day 1 weight was 180 3/4. Day 2 was 179 3/4. Day 3 was 179. Day 4 was 179 1/4. Day 5 and 6 were 179 again. That's it. Check in tomorrow. Actually, one thing I did want to mention, strength so far completely fine, as you would expect. Everything completely fine and manageable. The only thing I have noticed was yesterday I felt like my actual pump when I was training didn't last as long. Like halfway through my workout, oh, yes, you can type, it's fine. It's not,
yeah, that's fine.
I'm just trolling you. Halfway through my workout, I started to like lose my pump a bit. I didn't feel that insane kind of full as fuck pump like you feel when you're just smashing calories. That bit of pump and iron where Arnie says your skin's about to tear. Can you do an Arnie impression where he says your skin's about to tear?
Muscles are really tight, feeling your skin is about to explode.
Is that what he says? Yeah.
No,
the muscle is about to tear.
Does he say that?
Skin is about to tear.
Feels like really tight feeling. Feels like his skin is about to tear. So something like that.
Something like that, anyway. So that's the only update for now. Over and out for now. Check in tomorrow. Alright, just wanted to throw this little brief commentary in here because I figured a few people might wonder about abs. So I pretty much have no rhyme or reason to my ab workouts. I'll just do 10 sets on abs. I'll do 2 different exercises, and I'll do that once, sometimes twice a week, just at any random point whenever I can be bothered, to be honest, but as a minimum once a week. I'll try and do a combination of a crunch type motion, so crunching from the top down, and the opposite, so a kind of reverse crunch. I like these kind of lying leg raise reverse crunch type exercise. I'm not exactly sure what this is called, but it's great. And that's it, 10 sets once a week minimum, and that's all for abs. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I did it on this day. Day 7 came and went as the days tend to, and I was 179 pounds again. However, day 8 today, I woke up, weighed myself, and I was 178 1/4. So my weight seemed to stall for a good 3 or 4 days around the 179 mark, and I'm kind of glad that happened because it just illustrates the point that I was trying to make in the car earlier in the video about just trusting that your calories are low enough, and kind of putting faith in your judgment rather than trying to react too fast and reduce calories further or whatever it is. One thing that I wanted to mention, actually, I need to stop soon. This mini cut needs to come to an end, and as planned I think I'll take it to 10 days and then stop. And the reason for that is I was looking at myself today when I had a bit of a pump, and I feel like I look visibly leaner now, so I'll just play a little clip that I didn't even take the camera, so it's just apologies for the bad quality. I just filmed it on my phone, but I felt leaner and had a bit of a pump, and I thought, yeah, fuck, I look decent now. And it kind of, a thought went through my head, what if you were to just carry on cutting a little bit longer? And then I thought, no, fuck, I had to like battle that thought, because I feel like you can get caught up in the just get a little bit leaner, just get a little bit leaner. That kind of mentality where just, you know, just lose another pound, just drop one more percentage, you know, body fat point or whatever. And short term, that's great because that's what it is really, isn't it? Your cutting is always your short term reward. It's always like the instant gratification of lifting. But long term, you know, you need to commit to the bulk, and so the fact that I even had those thoughts today is a bit scary for me. I don't want to get addicted to cutting again because I've been there, and it leads to you being lean but never really making that many gains. So that's it for day 8. I will check in later. Happening? How are you? What's your name? Day 9 I was 176 and a quarter, which is pretty fucking scary because that's quite light, man. I was like, shit, have I lost all my gains? And then I checked in the mirror and I was like, nah, you're still big, man. So day 10 I was 177 pounds, and that concludes the mini cut. So that's 10 days and that's a loss in total of 3 3/4 pounds, which is right at the upper limit of, you know, what I would deem acceptable. And definitely one thing that I've taken from this is that when I do finally do a longer cut, probably next summer, I'll start on higher than 3,000 calories, because if I'm losing weight that fast, I really don't stand much chance of maintaining my strength or lean mass for a very long time. Basically, it wasn't a linear loss. I'll do a little graph, there you go, a bit up and down, but that's just how it always is and always will be. I'll do a little comparison here. So if you take a look at the videos, they were filmed on a potato, some technical issues, but I think you can still see some kind of difference. I'm going to pause it here, and you can see, or at least one noticeable thing for me was the difference in my actual waist. My waist looks noticeably thinner in the after shot on the right there, and I think that's just a combination of maybe a little bit of fat loss and also just being generally less full, and consuming less fibre as well as a result of being on lower calories, so you're just less bloated overall. But it's encouraging that you can make that kind of difference to your waist in just 10 days, you know what I mean? So that's something that I can, you know, look forward to dialing in when I do finally cut. I think that's it, man. That's it. I just wanted to do a fitness video for a change, man. Just update on everyone who just watches the usual vlogs and shit. I'm moving to Manchester in about a week and a half, so I've just been trying to sort stuff out, and it's been really like uneventful time, so I just thought I'd dip into a bit of fitness. And so it was time for a mini cut. I thought I'd do a mini cut video. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Plans are now to rejoin the Turbo Bulk Go Fucking Hard, and I'll update you on that when I get back to normal vlogs, which are coming up soon. Over and out.
Delaney is my hero.